Hi, we're here today over in the northeast at Gilchester with Andrew to talk about this. What has to be the most amazing crop this year is the Barber wheat. What's really special about this, Andrew, that would stand out to people?
The thing that would stand out to people is when you make the bread with it. I mean, we're not just growing these things because they look nice. They've got to have some sort of function. And when Steve Jones and I met, so Steve Jones, a plant breeder over in Washington State University in the States, and he and I independently have been working on, you know, what we're trying to bring from our plant growing. Uh, if you're going to lose yield, which you are in an organic system, then it's got to be the best grain possible to get to make it economically viable. But in the process of that journey, Steve Jones and I both realised that we'd been kind of working towards flavour at all cost, rather than the farmer's usual need tons per acre, yield at all cost. So this is Steve Jones's. Uh, um, this is the result of his work of flavour at all cost. And what's special about this is that it should, in your bakery, produce wholemeal breads of an outstanding flavour. All sorts of other things can get in the way of making that happen in terms of its baking quality, but the characteristics of this grain are flavour.
I think it's what I've been looking forward to the most. That actually, we've always wanted wholemeal to be. We've always wanted people to come to the bakery to buy wholemeal bread. People ask us, but it's so difficult in a world of we have 13 different types of sourdough, all these different breads, to bring something which should be, again, as we always say, bread at the center of the table.
Yep.
And actually, I'm really, really hopeful that when we get this through the mill and we give it that time and we actually start to make the bread, that with everything being in it, particularly because we don't have to remove the germ, we don't have to make any additions because we're just a small mill, that actually we can deliver all of that flavour and that people will really notice. I'm very much hoping that it will become a bread that people absolutely come to us for.
Well,
really
when we were millers, the thing that we prided ourselves on, Billy and I, was the quality of our wholemeal. Stone grinding, hard grains, with resistance to milling. We got really, really fine wholemeal flour.
I remember it well.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Of course you do. You were one of our first customers, and with your own mill, there's no reason why you can't replicate that fineness of sort of particulation of the flour, and that gives you baking performance. So the fact that you can get that baking performance with something that's got tremendous flavour, I think, but it's taken us a long time to get here. I mean, this is an entire field which started with a 5 kilo bag of grain, which was put in a 100 metre strip, and we got 60 kilos from that, and that allowed us to grow an acre. And from that acre, we got 2 tons, which is enough to do. But it's taken, there was a few hiccups along the way, that harvest conditions weren't viable, and we had to kind of start again. And so, 2017 was when we started the process of trying to get a field. And in that time, we've since sold the mill, but have bought one, built one for you. So I'm delighted it's still got a home that is kind of close to me, and it's hopefully something that you will say, yes, please grow that again. We need another field.
I think
I would hope so. We got a plan.
I'm really hopeful.
I've got a plan.